Hello, welcome to my video. Making this video on this old Mark IIB that has a loop mod in the back. I got pictures of it on reverb and everything, but there's not a ton of videos going through, these amps, if there are any out there in the wild. So I just wanted to, play through. So I'm playing through a 4x12 Marshall. I'm also using this powerhouse. So when I go to the clean channel, I'll probably dump it down to, pretty attenuated, and then get some, I'll show you some of the gain sounds possible on the clean channel, with it turned up quite a bit, and the power tubes will be, distorting some. I also use that a lot with this old Fender Bandmaster, and it's a very similar tone, so I just want to go through as much as I can. I'll try not to actually talk. I also have this 5-band EQ pedal. I got it up here. Normally I put it on my pedal board, but yeah, just kind of show you when I switch it on and off. I won't really change the settings on that too much. And also the presence knob in the back is set right at 5, so I'm not really going to adjust it too much. If I do, I'll just talk over and let you know. But for the most part, I'm just playing at bedroom volumes. So here's my voice talking over the cord. You can still kind of hear me. Playing a PRS custom or standard 24 with 59 style pickups in it, so pretty normal humbucker guitar. I do have coil splits, maybe I'll do a little bit of that, but yeah, just gonna start playing. And as I go through, I'm going to try and basically go from super clean to, over the top distortion, anywhere in between. Now I'm attenuating a lot. So yeah, I'll bring it up so you can hear how it kind of goes from clean to starting to distort. So right around 3 there, it really does start to distort. So yeah, if I were to not have the attenuator, this is pretty loud. But it's still a pretty cool sound. pickup, split. Anyway, so that's a pretty unique sound. I think it does sound a lot like my Fender Bandmaster here. So I usually don't push it up that much. A lot of people agree that a pretty typical setting for, you know, working between the two channels is like 7.5. So if you set it, yeah, here's a pretty typical channel 2 setting I might use. It sounds good with, you know, both channels balanced. Oh, I'm still cranked up. I'm getting power to distortion. So turning the attenuator off. Usually I think these settings don't sound fantastic with a clean channel. You know, maybe use the EQ with that. So, you know, without the EQ, it kind of sounds a little honky. But all it really needs is bump up the bass, cut the mids a little, and you're there. Could also leave it on 2 and just pull the gain boost. That adds a little more low mids than it usually has. Okay, so I'm going to set everything back to 5 and go to the lead channel. I should also show you real quick the way these two channels interplay with each other is this is kind of like your master, because I do think it's different on some other later amps, but this feeds into the other master. So if I turn this all the way down and turn up this channel, I get nothing. It's all the way on 10, but so wherever your clean is set, you have to kind of work the two together. But, you know, if I set a clean volume, I'd be right at 2. So they're not super balanced. You have to kind of turn up the clean channel there, but you can still balance them with 2 volumes and 2 volumes for each. Anyways, everything at 5. Everything is pushed in. Turn it down. It's a little dark by itself. Turn on the bright. One thing that's always fun to do is crank up the gain here, but turn it up from here. Sounds a little different sometimes. So here's the mids. So a cool way to dial these amps in is, say, you know, I'm dialing in a rock sound. Start with your treble. It will add a lot of gain. Then you can start to dial in your mids. See how it kind of fills in the sound. So if you do it that way, I don't know if I kind of made sense, but do it from your highs, then your mids, then you add in your banks at the end, then you get a nice tight sound. You know, and then if I'm recording, I might use the attenuator, crank it up a little bit. See, now I just got to 2, and I can't really crank it up anymore. It should be. See, that's what I was saying. These volume knobs work together. So 3 is pretty loud. Alright, so I'm going on forever. Let me show you some common settings. Here is a pretty typical John Petrucci setting. More of a Metallica setting here. So if you're wondering, the gain boost is compared to like a Mark II C Plus. We have it. It's the pull deep function. If you have it pulled out on the Mark II C Plus for pull deep, it's actually the same sound as this one pushed in. So if you're someone who likes to push that in on the Mark II C and get less bass, you can't really do that. You have to dial it out on your EQ. For this, it does add more bass and more gain, and it kind of really floods out. So it's kind of interesting if you want to play like a Santana thing. If you take that away, you know, in my experience, this is kind of like the John Petrucci sound. You know, it really sings. If you pull that, it sounds like Santana. Hopefully that really shows you what that does. So yeah, I usually leave it pushed in for anything but, you know, bluesy stuff where it doesn't really need it. But I mean, I'd say your typical settings pretty much work. You know, if you're used to Mark V or Mark IV or any of those, typical settings are pretty much the same. Just realize that anything that you pull to add something, it's going to add more gain. So if you feel it's like over the top, too much gain, you can really dial it back. Pushing that in gets rid of a lot of top end, extra mid gain that can kind of make it feel, you know, a little too much. This one is a pull bright, but to me it's kind of, it goes from like mid heavy to adding bass and brightness. It helps scoop it a lot. So, you know, if you want to get closer to maybe the Mark II C Plus mode on the Mark V amp, I think pushing that in gets a lot closer. It's very, you know, tight sounding. But if you pull it out, everything's a lot looser and, you know, more like the Mark IV. It's not all in a bad way, but you know, that's just kind of my experience. As far as the EQ, I'm not trying to list this for sale because I paid a lot of money for it. I could be convinced with a good offer, but I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I think I've really gone on too long, but it's a Mark IIB. It has a loop mod. It places the loop, you know, at the end of the preamp, basically, right before the power amp, which is how most amps are designed nowadays. But this was one of the first amps to ever have an effects loop, and they kind of put it in the middle of the gain stages, which is really weird. So, you know, if you use delays or anything, it would get really weird sounding. But yeah, this is from 1982. It's kind of in the middle of the Mark IIB range as far as like when they started and ended, but it's a couple years before the Mark II C or C Plus, but it was modded in 2004 to add the loop mod. you know, by Mike Bindinelli at Mesa Boogie. And otherwise, you know, it plays great, sounds great. I've cranked it up a lot and has no problems. I did replace the bass knob with a new knob, and this is a new switch. It's kind of weird to see. It's slightly longer than the other one, but it works just the same. I have a Mark III, so it looks a lot like the Mark III one, but not the Mark II one. But it works exactly the same. Yeah, if you're interested, I know this is a long video, but hopefully that gets you an idea of, you know, what this amp is.